All right, welcome back. Welcome back. We're back in here messing around with which car? Which car are we working with today? We're going to be working on Brutus this time. So in this episode, we're pretty much going to be going through something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. So it is going to be involving some fog lights, essentially. So please excuse if I'm sick or if I sound nasally. My allergies are killing me right now. So runny nose, the throat stuff, all the fun things. But the show must go on. So with that in mind, yeah, pretty much going to show you some headlights real quick just to give you an idea what we're working with. They're basically headlights. They're not even fog lights. They're going to be used as fog lights, but they're essentially headlights. It's fantastic. I'll show you all the details. Because, I mean, when you look at the front of this thing, you're just like, oh man, there's some giant holes, you know what I mean? It would be nice to fill those with something useful. So that useful thing is going to be essentially our headlights here. Let me just show you up here. Might be a little bit easier. Pull these out of the case. I wanted something really simple. I didn't really want to go with the older 90s style because my current headlights themselves are LEDs. So I continued the theme. Let's go with LEDs here. These are meant for like a Harley Davidson motorcycle. So the main thing I was chasing after was the line, the DRLs in the center. So this will change from amber or white, whichever my preference is. And then you'll just have the headlight and it's black. So hopefully being deep back, you won't really be able to see much of anything, which will be kind of cool. I think it'd be kind of nice. And of course, the things that you need to install and attach it is going to be a headlight, attachment bracket, essentially. So this will be kind of similar to how some of the other ones mount on other bumpers, where it has a mount here on the bottom. We're just going to retrofit that to the car. Essentially, we're going to lift this up. There's a mount in the center. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Yeah, I can't show you on either side. There's a mount that will essentially drop down in the front. You probably won't be able to see much of anything. There's a bar that's down there. We're basically going to drill some holes into it and then tap those holes, put some bolts through it, maybe some rib nuts, and we'll see. And then with those, we should be able to attach a metal bar. Here, let me get. So same type of metal steel bar that we're going to use. We'll just bend it to where it needs to be. And then we'll drill a hole so that way the bottom of this will mount to the hole and hold it in place. This is super sturdy stuff, so it shouldn't have any deformities or bends in it as we're going. You probably can't even see how thick it is. Oh boy, there we go. Not bad, not bad. But this is what I used for the bottom of the fake splitter. So yeah, or the bumper protector rather. So I'm thinking we should be okay at the end of the day, but we'll try it out. We'll see what it turns into. And then, yeah, if it works out, sweet. If it doesn't, well, at least you watched the video, so I appreciate that. But just to quickly show you what the fitment is going to look like partially as we look into. So we have the holes themselves, we have the headlight, and just fits right in there without issue. So smooth. I like that everything's black. Should be pretty straightforward to throw it on there and make it attach. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? And I think the cool thing about the headlight, besides it just being, dark black, you won't be able to see it anyways. It's pretty small. You will, at least what I'm going to end up doing, because of how small the hole is on the back of this. That's going to be where our issue comes into play as a starting point. So this is the hole right there. And it has the equipment that comes inside that's supposed to go through and whatnot. But honestly, I'm just going to de-pin this and then probably hot wire this to where it needs to go. Well, not hot wire it. I'll use the extensions that I got, essentially. That should let us do what we need to do for this. But I'm going to de-pin this so that way these will come out. And then we should be able to easily push them through the holes here. And then from there, we can hook everything else up, make it work, and should be good. So let's get to it. Now, the way that this is supposed to go, and here's the hole so you can see it in reference, pretty small, but this is the bottom portion. Everything just unbolts with ease. And then this is the frame that will kind of keep the headlight level within itself. So once all that's set and we have it in there, we should have the black cover that goes on the top. It just tightens down and we're good to go. So this should be pretty straightforward to knock out ultimately. But yeah, let's knock it out. And then here's what it looks like depinned. So everything's out. We can now push it through the holes of that one piece and then we should be good. This is the piece that comes with it. So essentially this is what has the little, seal that goes on the back of that black piece. Where'd it go? But the seal doesn't really work very well for that. So we'll probably just end up using partial bits of this. But yeah, we'll essentially put this over the top once all that's said and done. and this will be the final product. This is how you'll see it on this side. This gap won't be here. Be nice and top, nice squeezed together. So there's a bolt that goes in there, and yeah, should look pretty sick if I'm not mistaken. I still need to fix the rest of the headlight. I still need to trim it. I haven't done any of that. Still need to knock that out, but on the to-do list. So let's get to it. All right, here we go. So here are our options here. This is just plugged into the same plug as the normal one because they're all the same. But our headlight is on the top. Our high beam is on the bottom. This is the line that it creates on the ceiling, minus the hood. Let's go ahead, put the bright on. Brights on, off, and then from our side, you can see it's the bottom that kicks on and off. So I think we'll leave it as it is. The top will be the high beam, and then from there, we can put the turn signal on. Let's see if we can't hook that up. So no turn signal yet, but this looks like the daytime running light. So this is what I will have probably use as a turn signal ultimately. It'll look way cooler that way. Have that at the bottom, just kind of sitting there. That'll be super sick. So anyways, or I may just have that as the daytime running light. I'm not really sure yet. Probably a turn signal because it's hard to see the turn signal up here when the headlights are actually on. So yeah, we'll see. But let's see what the actual turn signal looks like. Just kidding. This is the white version of the daytime running light or the turn signal, whichever I prefer to use. But in order to activate that, it's going to be the clear one, or the white one is going to be the white wire. The amber is going to be yellow. So cool on them for doing that. But the headlight is going to be the blue. So we'll hook the blue up as it would be normally. And then the turn signal has got to be a different connection. And here we go. So I decided to move it to the other side because I don't have the wire exposed on that side for turn signals. But yeah, we can either do amber or we can do white. I'm liking the amber in this regard, just because, you know, everything else is amber. I don't really have any clear or white turn signals anywhere. So might go this route, but we know it'll work. It'll look good. So yeah, let's get into putting it all together. All right, so we got everything set up. The headlight is in where it needs to be. So we have the mounting part for the whole outside frame on the bottom. Everything else is on the bottom. Top will just look nice and black. This is straight, looks pretty good. And then on the back, we fed all the wires through. We chopped off the ends of what that was before. So I'm going to show you what the other one looked like. This is what the end looked like on the other one. Remember, we depinned and cut it. Really, I guess we could have just cut it, but cut it, put it in there, fed it through. And now we're using our Deutsch connectors, so that way we can make this all work. So fed all the pieces through here. We got power, ground, the light switch, and then the turn signal to be amber. So all those are hooked up there. We need to put in our saving piece so they won't go anywhere. And then we can do the same thing for the other side. I lost the piece. Oh, here it is in my pocket. For the other side, put the piece in the center, feed those through too, and then it should lock it all in place. And then we have a plug and play solution. All right, so because this connector obviously won't fit through the little hole, we cut everything up. Basically, I got some Deutsch connectors that I've had sitting over there, chillaxing, essentially to repurpose them and then use them for this. I need 4 connections, which is the perfect number. So basically one for, here, I'll show you the back of this just for actual purpose. Red, power, black, ground. Blue is the switch, and then yellow is the turn signal. So made our Deutsch connector piece, and everything is hooked up on the back of this. Looks perfect. Connects right in. So that way when I get it underneath the car, all the wires should work fine, should connect right up, and then I won't have to disconnect and cut things and do whatnot. But everything's plugged in there, works fine. So now we can work on the other one, and then we can work on getting the mounting solution and everything in place. The mounting is going to be the biggest problem because I think I'm going to have to take this bumper off in order to even access anything or to see what I'm looking at. But yeah, we'll see how far we get. All right, so I've been busy pretty much just getting everything, all the wiring done, all that's done out of the way. And then we just made a 90-degree bracket. So that way, once I put it up there, I'm probably going to bend the very top and then just weld it into place. I was going to drill and tap or drill and put some holes in there, but it doesn't seem like it's, I don't know, it may not be worth it. Might just be easier to weld it in and then it's always there. I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, this is basically how it'll look. The back side, I'm pointing out with my left finger, the back side where this is going is actually smaller than the front side. The front side's a little wider than the back, so this will not actually fit in with inside of the hole. It just sits on the outside. So with that in mind, we could basically just put this on top, mount it there, and then weld it into place. And we can take these on and off as we see fit with our connectors and everything. So let's see if we can't get this thing lined up. Holy smokes, let me give you guys an update. I'm not using my mic, so stand by. Pretty much kind of played around with everything, kind of came up with a solution. There's in the normal, at least in the 1.6 Miatas, there's a little bolt that is right there. So it's 10 mil, pretty much just slip that on, and then this is the thick metal. So I just need to move it over a little bit more, and then it'll be center where it needs to be, and it'll hang where it's at. And then the wires will go straight up through the hole that's right underneath the lid, and then we can just wire it in as it needs to be. So that will be fantastic to be able to get one done. And then once we have that done, we can do the same thing to the other side. Still might find another way to mount it long term, but we're basically going to put this same fender kind of protection underneath on the lip, just so in case it's moving around or bounces, it's not destroying the paint or doing some craziness. So let's throw that on there. And this is pretty much what the bracket looks like. It's just a bracket with a hole big enough for the lid itself, or the light carrier itself. And then I need to drill some holes back here. I need to get either a sharpener or new bits because they are just dying and taking forever. It took me literally the whole battery to drill this hole, and it's not even straight. Look at that. Crazy. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty much a 90 with a little bit of a 45-degree flange. So that way it'll keep that in the perfect position, and then we can just mount it up. So assuming that bolt, I haven't checked on that side, assuming the bolt is there, we can do the same exact thing over there, and we should be good to go. All right, so we found pretty much where it needs to be. This is a 5 3/4 inch light with a 5 3/4 inch holder. You could pretty much just find any universal holder to make this kind of work, but overall it looks pretty good. The mount itself is going to get tacked into place so it doesn't move once it's finalized. It's really, really close. I need to get the weather stripping so that way this little area here will get kind of covered up. Will it fit inside? It probably might. It's just really, really close, and I don't want it to really rub on the paint on the inside of the fender, or the fender inside the hole either. But yeah, I mean, this thing ain't going anywhere. It might move around a little bit overall, but it's not going to fall off, and I'm not concerned about it, so we'll be good. But yeah, let's see from the front, we're looking good, looking super good. So it will look, it's going to look out of place right now because it's not fully lined up. It needs to come down just a little bit, and in order to do that, I need to move this bracket a little bit more to the right, but also down a little bit at the same time. So it's kind of like I need to extend this bend a little bit further down, and then just, yeah, kind of pull it over a little bit, or just pull it over and push it down, either or. But yeah, now we can push these holes up through here, and then we should be able to wire these up to what we have is like the factory stuff. So we'll probably put a switch in here on the ground just so we can actually turn them on and off and control that separately from you know, the normal headlights, so we don't have all the headlights on together, including the fog lights. But yeah, we're here. Let's get to it. All right, it's time to finally go back in here. This is our headlight motor, or our headlight cable there. We're basically going to splice into the OEM stuff, which has already been extended. So we'll just splice it right in here somewhere, and then we'll use our ground. We'll just do a switch somewhere, run a cable up here to that, then we'll be good. Let's get it done. Okay, we got the wire down, everything's soldered up. Let's plug it in and test it out. All right, moment of truth. With the lights, I think one of the wires came undone for one side, but yeah. This is gonna look good. I really need to get the switch hooked up so that it works properly all the way, but otherwise, let me get the other light. All right, there we go. So now we have both lights and the fog lights going for each side. Super sick. Need to recreate the lenses again. Need to recut them. I need to do a bunch of things, but at least we got one thing out of the way. as a starting point. Sick, so sick. And then the best part is having the turn signal set up to at least let me know, you know, so you can actually see, since everything's been blocked off for the longest time, even though you can still see some of the light through it, still works out pretty well. Okay. Nice and bright, nice and level. You'll love to see it. Love to see it. And then what it looks like without the lights and just the turn signals during the day. Oh, it's gonna look sick. It's gonna look super, super sick. Can't wait to get this thing back on the road again and drive it around and enjoy it. And don't mind the hat, but if you've stayed this long, I appreciate y'all for watching. We got a few more tricks up our sleeve to knock this thing out, but this will be on the road soon. And then Chanel on the other side, we got a couple small things to figure out with that, but we'll be on the road too soon with that too. So like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.